I'm 85 now. Some days I still forget that number. It surprises me when I hear it out loud. 85 sounds like someone else. Someone older than the man I feel like when I'm sitting here at this small kitchen table with the radio off and the afternoon light coming through the thin curtains. The house is quiet again today. It has been quiet for a long time, but today it feels quieter. Maybe because I didn't go out. Maybe because I didn't turn anything on. I made coffee the way I always do. 2 scoops. Too much water. I've been making it weak for years. The doctor once told me to. I don't even remember what for. The mug is the same chipped blue one I've had since the late 90s. I chipped it myself, washing it too hard in the old sink, back when the old sink was still here. I kept the mug anyway. I keep a lot of things anyway. I was supposed to be sorting today. That was the plan when I woke up. I even said it out loud. Today, I'll go through the boxes. The ones in the small back room. The room that used to be a bedroom when the house was full. The room with the door that doesn't quite close anymore. I carried one box out earlier. It's sitting on the floor near my feet now. I didn't open it yet. I sat down first. I always sit down first. There's a certain way the house smells in the afternoon. Old wood, dust that never quite leaves. Something faint from the laundry soap I still buy, even though I only do 1 small load a week now. It smells like years. It smells like meals that used to happen here. Like coats hung by the door. Like wet shoes on the mat. The clock in the living room ticks loud when it's like this. It never used to. Or maybe it did, and there was always something else to cover it. Voices, a television, someone rinsing dishes, someone calling from another room. I can hear the clock from here. Tick, tick. The box is heavier than I expected. It's the kind of weight that tells you there's paper inside. Paper and small things. Not books, not clothes. Just the kind of things people put away because they don't know where else to put them. I haven't opened it yet. I keep my hands around the mug instead. The ceramic is warm. My fingers are thin now. I notice them more. The skin, the way the veins stay up even when I lower my hands. Sometimes I turn my palms up and look at them like they belong to someone I used to know. This kitchen hasn't changed much. We painted it once in the early 80s. That pale yellow. It was her idea. I remember standing on a chair with a brush, trying not to drip on the floor, while she sat at the table and read the instructions off the paint can because I'd thrown them away. She always kept instructions. I always thought I wouldn't need them. I still see the way she tapped the paper with her finger. Once, twice. Like that would make the words stick better. The chair I'm sitting on wobbles if I lean back too far. It's always wobbled. I fixed it once with a folded matchbook under one leg. I fixed it again later with a little square of cardboard. I fixed it again with a thin piece of wood I shaved down myself. It still wobbles. Some things don't want to be fixed. The box is there because I moved it there. I remember doing that. I bent slower than I used to. I had to brace one hand on the table. I thought about asking my daughter to come help me with this, but I didn't. She has her own things, her own boxes, her own kitchens, her own afternoons. So I carried the box, step by step, from the back room, down the narrow hallway, past the place where the coat rack used to stand. I bumped my elbow on the door frame the way I always do. I said, damn it out loud, even though no one was there to hear it. When I set the box down, dust came up, just a little, enough to make me blink. Now it sits there like it's waiting. I've learned over the years that when something sits long enough, it starts to feel like it has a reason. The top is taped shut with old yellow tape, the kind that peels in layers if you pick at it. I can see a corner already lifting. Inside, I know there are papers, I know there are envelopes, I know there are probably photographs. I know because I packed it myself. I don't remember when, but I remember the room. I remember standing in the back room when it still had a bed in it, a narrow one, the kind you buy when someone is going to be staying for a while. The bedspread was green, faded. The box fan was in the window. It rattled when it ran. That room has been a lot of rooms. First it was storage. Then it was hers, when she got sick and couldn't climb the stairs anymore. Then it was quiet. Then it was storage again. I still closed the door when I walk past it, even though there's no reason to. I pick up the mug. I take a small sip. The coffee is barely warm now. I always misjudge how long I sit. There's a light coming in through the small window over the sink. Late winter light, thin, pale. It falls across the floor and stops just short of the box. The rest of the room stays a little dim. I think of a winter years ago. I don't know why that one. The snow had been high against the porch. I remember because I couldn't get the door open all the way. I had to push it with my shoulder. She stood behind me laughing, telling me I was going to break it. I told her it was a strong door. It wasn't the door that was strong. I don't know when that sentence stayed with me. I don't remember thinking it at the time. It feels newer than it is. I put the mug down. The sound it makes on the table is small but clear. Everything sounds clear now. I lean forward, slowly, the way I have to. My knees answer first, then my back, then my hands. I pull the box closer with the side of my foot. The cardboard scrapes against the floor. It's a sound I recognize from many other days, in many other rooms. The tape peels the way I expected. It makes that soft tearing sound, sticky and dry at the same time. I lift the top. Inside, there are folders. Not the neat kind, the thin kind that bend. Some envelopes. Some loose photographs. A small spiral notebook with the front half torn off. A manila envelope with my name on it, written in her handwriting. I know it's hers before I even pick it up. Her R always leaned a little, like it was tired. I don't take that envelope yet. I pick up the notebook first. The pages are yellow. The spiral is rusted in places. I flip one open and see a grocery list. Old, coffee, bread, batteries. Something crossed out that I can't read anymore. I turn another page. There's a phone number. No name, just the number. Another page. A small drawing. A crooked square. A door. A window. She used to sketch when she was on the phone. Just shapes. Just lines. I close it again. It's strange what the hands remember, even when the mind doesn't quite. The photographs are loose. No album, just a stack. The top one is bent, a crease across the corner. It's the old car, the blue one, parked in front of the first house we rented after we got married. I'm standing beside it. I look thinner than I remember being. My hair is dark. My arm is up like I'm waving or shading my eyes. I don't remember the moment. But I remember that car. I remember the way the door stuck. I remember the smell inside it in the summer. I set the photograph down on the table, carefully, like it might break. Another picture, a small kitchen. Not this one, the first one. There's a table that only had 3 legs until I fixed it. There's a woman in the background, half turned away, reaching into a cabinet. I can see her elbow. I can see the side of her face. I can see the way she held her mouth when she was concentrating. I don't remember that picture being taken, but I remember that cabinet. The envelope is still there. I leave it. Instead, I reach deeper into the box. There's a folded shirt, one of mine, old work shirt, the kind with the thin stripes. I don't know why it's here. It smells like nothing now, but I remember the way it used to smell when I came home. Metal, oil, outside. Under it, there are more papers, receipts, old warranties, a folded letter. I recognize the envelope before I touch it. It's not her writing. It's mine. The date is in the corner, 1974. I don't open it yet. My hands stay there, on the paper, on the edge of something I know I once thought was important enough to keep. The clock keeps ticking. Somewhere outside, a car passes. I hear it, faint, through the walls. It doesn't slow down. I breathe in, slow, the way I've learned to. There was a time when this house was loud at this hour. Doors, voices, someone asking what's for dinner, someone else saying they'd already eaten, the phone ringing, the radio on, the sink running, the sound of shoes being kicked off near the door. Now there is this. A box, a letter, a man sitting in a kitchen that has outlived most of the conversations that once happened in it. I slide the letter out of its envelope just a little, not enough to read, just enough to see the edge of my own handwriting. It looks younger than I feel. I don't know yet if I'm ready to hear what he was trying to say. So I stop. I let it rest there, and I sit back, and I wait for whatever comes next. I think about the man who wrote that letter. He didn't know how the years would actually feel. He didn't know how ordinary they would be, how heavy without being dramatic, how full without looking full. He didn't know how many mornings would pass with nothing special in them, how many cups of coffee would be made, how many doors would be opened and closed without thought, how many times he would sit at this same table and believe he was only resting. I can still see him in pieces, standing in work boots by the sink, wiping his hands on a towel that was already wet, listening to her talk from another room without really hearing the words, thinking there would always be another time to listen better. He thought the important years were still ahead of him. Later, after this shift, after this bill, after this tiredness, he didn't know that most of life doesn't announce itself. It just keeps happening while you're busy being inside it. I look around this kitchen now. Nothing is wrong with it. Nothing is happening in it. And yet almost everything that mattered to me once has happened right here, by this sink, at this table, in that doorway, in the quiet space between one room and another. I used to think the years that shaped me were the ones where something changed. Marriage, birth, illness, loss. But sitting here now, what I feel most are the years where nothing changed. The long middle years, the years of waking up and making coffee, of driving the same roads, of coming home and setting keys down in the same place, of hearing her move in the other room and knowing, without seeing, what she was probably doing. Those were the years that built me. Not by force, not by drama, just by repetition, by presence, by all the small moments I barely noticed while they were quietly becoming my life. I don't feel regret the way people imagine it. It isn't loud. It's soft. It's the sound of a house after everyone has gone to bed. It's the way a room still remembers where furniture used to stand. It's realizing how many times I was already living what I would one day miss. I'm 85 now. My days are simple. I wake up. I wash a cup. I sit. I walk through rooms that know me better than anyone alive. Sometimes I open a box. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I think about her hands at the sink. Sometimes I think about my daughter's shoes by the door. Sometimes I think about the man in the break room holding a newspaper and not knowing why it mattered. Most of the time, I just listen to the house. It still makes sounds. It still settles. It still carries everything that has ever been said inside it. I don't feel like I'm at the end of something. I feel like I'm standing inside all of it at once. The young man, the working man, the husband, the father, the caregiver, the one who stayed, the one who didn't always know how. They're all here, sitting quietly, in this chair, at this table, in this body that moves slower but remembers more. There isn't much left I need to say. The rooms know the rest. The years already did their work, and I'm tired now. Not in a bad way. Just finished talking. So I think I'll sit a little longer, and then I'll turn off the light